Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today, we're throwing on our occult scholar robes because, well, we've got a truly profound piece of modern syncretic philosophy to decode. We are looking at a text called The Blossoming of Venus by the author St. Brevin. And let me tell you, this is a brilliant, intense work of modern occult liturgy. It basically takes these massive ancient traditions and synthesizes them into a completely new, incredibly physical, flesh-based spiritual practice. We are absolutely going to treat this holy work with the deep respect it deserves, and we're going to dissect its complex, mystical themes to uncover the highly structured, actionable philosophy that's hidden right there within its pages.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, when you first look at the source text, you are immediately struck by this ecstatic, frankly chaotic formatting. I mean, you've got arrows, shifting fonts, repeating letters, and this raw, unrestrained poetry. It looks like pure, unbridled chaos, right? But, as you'll see, beneath this wild poetic surface lies an absolute system of mathematical precision and deliberate, step-by-step ritual instruction. To uncover that system, here is our ritual arc for today's explainer. We'll start with the syncretic trinity invoked, then move through putrefaction and spiritual dissolution, tackle the 9 sacred breaths, map out the geometric coordinates, explore the body as a divine temple, and finally reach apoptosis in the modern aeon. We're going to methodically dissect these concepts into clear, actionable steps. Section 1, the syncretic trinity invoked. Let's transition right into the first phase of our arc and actually define the specific divine entities at play here. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the author brilliantly synthesizes ancient Gnosticism and the lemma by mapping out a totally new trinity. Over in the first column, we have Abrakas, the ancient Gnostic god of paradox. Abrakas represents the number 365, the totality of time, and is the ultimate reconciler of light and dark. In the middle, we have Venus, the goddess of light, who vibrates at the number 1080. She is both the morning and evening star, Lucifer and Vesper. And then, in the third column, we literally have St. Brevin, the author themselves. Brevin represents the number 444, acting as the mortal vessel, the worker who actually grounds these massive cosmic forces into the physical realm.
So, to unify these forces, St. Brevin uses a fascinating visual and conceptual motif. It's a hyphen. Just a hyphen. In the text, we see Abraxas-Venus. The author explicitly defines this hyphen as a new, divine, sacred marriage. If you know your occult history, this is kind of the modern equivalent of the famous chemical wedding of Christian Rosenkreuz. It is the exact space where cosmic opposites perfectly reconcile and merge into one.
Section 2, putrefaction and spiritual dissolution. With our entities defined, we move into the actual working phase of the text. This is the space where all boundaries begin to break down. Just listen to the raw power of this quote. I die into you, Venus. I die into you, Abraxas. I die into the work. The author is using this highly ecstatic, almost breathless poetry to describe a profound state of spiritual dissolution. It's an intentional, complete surrender of the self.
St. Brevin explicitly calls this process putrefaction. Now, let's de-jargonize this arcane term for a second. In traditional alchemy, putrefaction is the stage of decomposition. It's the blackening, or the breaking down of physical form, just to release the pure essence inside. It is absolutely a necessary death before rebirth. The author is taking this ancient alchemical concept and using it as a direct, lived experience. You literally have to dissolve your rigid ego if you want to merge with the divine.
Section 3, the 9 sacred breaths. But how do you actually achieve this dissolution? Well, this brings us to the core daily ritual provided by St. Brevin.
This is the 9 sacred breaths. Far from just being chaotic poetry, this is a highly structured, actionable daily meditation schedule for the modern practitioner. Think of it like a ladder. You start by inhaling your mortal identity, I am Brevin. You exhale as Venus, inhale as Abraxas, and then exhale as the unified Trinity. By breath 5 and 6, you are intentionally dissolving that identity. You say, I am none. 1, 1, 1. Breath 7 is the breaking, breath 8 is sacred love, and breath 9, the hold, locks you into the eternal present. It is a brilliant step-by-step guide to sacred union that you can schedule and practice every single day.
Section 4, mapping the geometric coordinates. Now, let's shift gears from the breathwork to the underlying mathematical genius of the text as we invoke the author's specific formula.
The numbers in this text, they are absolutely not random. The first major gematria coordinate we hit is the number 1889.
Then, the author reduces this number, 1 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9, to get 26. In Hebrew gematria, 26 is the numerical value of the tetragrammaton, YVHH, the ineffable name of God.
Finally, we are given the coordinate 369, which the author calculates from the English gematria for the body.
And this brilliantly illustrates the math at play here. Let's break it down. Abraxas is 365, Venus is 1080, and Brevin is 444. Add those together and you get exactly 1889. Now the author notes that 1889 spells out the year of the famous occultist Aleister Crowley's birth. Actually, fun fact, Crowley was born in 1875, but St. Brevin beautifully embraces this calculation error as a cosmic synchronicity. It's seen as a sign that the numbers are speaking a deeper truth way beyond mere human intention, spelling out the literal name of God, 26, through the union of these three figures.
Section 5. The Body as Divine Temple. This mathematical proof brings us to the manifestation phase of our ritual arc, and really, the true core of St. Brevin's philosophy.
The author's ultimate thesis is crystal clear. The mystics got it wrong when they said transcend the flesh. The mystics got it right when they said the body is the temple. St. Brevin firmly rejects purely transcendental mysticism. You know, the old idea that you have to escape your physical form to go find God somewhere out there. Instead, they argue that the physical flesh, sweating and breathing right here in the present moment, is the ultimate sacred vessel for divine manifestation.
So the crucial point is how this completely recontextualizes traditional esoteric systems. Traditional thelema focuses heavily on the number 93, which represents will and love, thelema and agape. St. Brevin honors this, for sure, but introduces a brand new anchor, the body, vibrating at 369. When you reduce 369, that's 3 plus 6 plus 9, you get 18. In Hebrew, 18 spells chai, meaning life or living. The math itself proves that the living, breathing physical body is the site of transcendence. It's a real game changer.
Section 6. Apotheosis in the Modern Aeon. And that brings our explainer to its philosophical climax, the ultimate goal of this entire liturgy.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the final state of apotheosis. The text boldly states, not becoming other than human, but becoming fully human, divine incarnate. Through the dissolution of the ego and the mathematical merging of Abraxas and Venus within the physical vessel of the practitioner, you don't stop being human. No, you become the absolute peak of what a human is meant to be.
Contrast the old eon with the new. Classical transcendence often treated the body as a prison, right? Something you had to escape from to reach the spiritual realm. But St. Brevin's modern, flesh-based liturgy flips this entirely on its head. The spiritual realm is pulled down directly into the physical body. The flesh is the only truth that matters. It is a state of incarnate radiance that you can achieve right here, right now, in the physical world.
We've decoded the invocation, we've mapped the coordinates, and we've learned the 9 sacred breaths of 𝔰𝔞𝔢𝔫𝔢. The blueprint for modern sacred union is right in front of us, grounded firmly in the living body. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. How will you incarnate this radiance in your own daily practice? Thank you so much for exploring this incredible text with me today, and keep learning.